The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
The recruiting story of Demitri Saulsberry is one that every high school athlete should hear. He wasn't the main focus of a visit from Carson-Newman and was being underestimated. But his ability to focus on what he can control led him to Mossy Creek.
Carson-Newman gave me the opportunity while some of the other colleges didn't. They kind of overlooked me because of my size. Coach DINO came down to one of our games to actually see Wimbush play, and he ended up seeing me as well, and called me up here for a visit. And they seemed like they gave me the idea that I would eventually have the opportunity to get some play time and all of that. And they said that obviously I would have to work for it, but they just gave me the opportunity.
What caught the eye of Dino Waits? It was not the tangibles. Rather, Waits used the eye test when he tracked down the future Eagle.
The key thing to it is, and what we really try to value, is finding football players. Finding guys that are every play they're playing their heart out, and they may not be the biggest, tallest, strongest, fastest guys or whatever, but they're playing football, all out and with all their heart. And I think that's part of the key thing you can do. If I'm a player, and that's one thing Demitri did, and I think that's what showed up, and that's what's showing up now, because he's gonna give his heart to everything he does.
The sophomore had 4 carries in 2017, entering Carson-Newman's date with 23rd ranked and undefeated Catawba. Coach Mike Turner put the ball in Saulsberry's hands 17 times in the upset victory.
He's not world-class speed by any means, but he's world-class heart. He's the kind of kid that's great to be on this football team. He's a guy that people love to be around. He's a guy that you can depend on. Demitri Saulsberry is never going to get you beat.
Like many mainstays on the roster, Saulsberry showed a willingness to play special teams in an attempt to find his way onto the field. That attribute allowed Waits to find the sophomore time on the playing surface.
He finds a way to get the job done, in the classroom, in his social life, in his heart. He's always trying to learn and grow. And then on the football field, he's one of those guys that once his freshman year when he was here, he saw that he wasn't going to be the starting running back, and he started asking me, put me on this unit, put me here. I can long snap. He's like our backup long snapper. Most people don't know that. So he's like our backup long snapper. So he is the guy that wants to get the job done. And once you got one of those guys, you can plug them in a lot of different areas, and they're going to help.
Reflecting on the last several seasons, Saulsberry had a moment to appreciate the work and time he had put in. Much like his recruiting process, the Georgia native worked on ways to improve himself.
It's nice to see the product of your hard work. 2 years of watching what you practice every day. And last year I got the opportunity to play on some special teams, but freshman year, it's hard for most guys just to go from being you're that guy at your high school to come into college, and you're sitting out a whole year and not being able to play and all that. It's rough on some people, and it got to me too, because I'm human. So I got frustrated at sometimes, but I stayed consistent with my hard work and all that, and eventually I'm getting to experience the fruits of my labor pretty much. So
Saulsberry's story is one of timing. He produced a great effort with Waits in attendance that separated him from the rest of the players. While his story is not unique, the persistence displayed has turned the running back from underestimated to a leader. For the Mike Turner Show, I'm Michael WOTTRENG.